Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is Colton and today Zac will be making for you the second soap in our Pride 2026 collection. This is of course the orange color in the rainbow flag and it is entitled DayGlo Mango, and you'll see why here momentarily. But before we can get to the colorful part of the soap making, just like in our past video, the neon berry soap making video, which if you haven't seen that, I'll put a card up in the corner there and you can go and watch that. We are doing a cohesive design with color variants for each of the rainbow colors. So the base layer in all of the soap that we're making for the month of June is actually going to be a black colored base, and then the top layer is going to be a neon color that corresponds with the traditional rainbow flag, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. We did take one small liberty, and that is that we used pink instead of red because the neon colorants that we are using did not have a red that we really liked. So while I've been gabbing, we have whipped up the soap base, and this soap base is the same soap base. It's our signature RainBro soap base, and that is down in the comment section down below if you wanted to make this soap or use this soap recipe to make your own soap. We love that. If you ever do that, tag us on Instagram. We'd love to see it. But we've blitzed that all up till it comes to a nice light trace. We've added in our black pearl mica, and then Zac is adding in our coconut mango fragrance oil, and this is from Shea Company, our local supplier here. They're in Portland area, and we are obsessed with this fragrance. It has top notes of grapefruit, melon, coconut, orange, and lemon, and there's some nice kind of tropical fruity middle notes, and then the bottom layer there's some heliotrope and tonka bean and raspberry to kind of anchor everything and make it not quite as sweet as mango can be, and like takes that weird coconut smell out of the coconut, so it's not gonna smell like sunscreen or something like that. The other thing that we really love about this fragrance oil in particular is that it doesn't discolor, which is great, and it doesn't accelerate, which is amazing, because we have used the mango coconut milk from Candle Science before, which is a fantastic fragrance. It gets your soap batter so hot and it discolors to like a dark brown, and I'll put a card up in the corner here so you can go and see that video, because we do, I believe, have that as a video from a long time ago. This fragrance we actually used last year in our Dazzling Divas collection, and it was the Kim Petras soap that was for her My Coconut song, and again, kind of sounding like a broken record, but I'll put a card up in the corner here if you haven't seen that either, because it just was such a delicious scent and we knew we had to bring it back for our Pride 2026 collection. So we have, like I said, blitzed up this soap batter, added our fragrance, added our black pearl mica, and then Zac has broken that into two separate slab molds there. We just eyeball this. We didn't really have to worry about measuring anything. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but just doing an estimate is good enough. We'll then tap the bubbles out of this, set those two slabs aside to let that base layer firm up a little bit, and then we will start making the second batch of soap. This top batch is going to be scented with the same coconut mango fragrance oil from Shea Company, but we are now going to use Cheesy Poof, which is a neon orange pigment from Mad Micas. Black Pearl is also from Mad Micas. This orange, much like the pink from last week, it's like hard for the camera to look at. It doesn't look like a real color. If that makes sense, it is like traffic cone orange, and that is exactly what we were going for. We wanted these colors to be like attention grabbing, and I think this really fits the prompt. It also plays well with the like fun, fruity nature of this specific fragrance oil. At least I think it does. So we have, in addition to that fragrance oil and the colorant, we have our kaolin clay, and we do this with all of our soap. We marinate the clay in with the fragrance oil so that the fragrance oil kind of attaches to those clay molecules, and it makes your fragrance last longer, especially if it's a delicate scent. It's really, really helpful for that. This scent is not a delicate one, and by delicate I mean if the soap batter gets too hot or just during the normal soaping process. Sometimes fragrances can like cook off, so to speak, and a delicate fragrance does that. This fragrance does not do that, but you can add a little bit of extra safety if you mount your fragrance oil to your kaolin clay, which is what we do. And we just let this fragrance oil soak with the clay for a couple hours. Ideally, you would do that overnight. However, we don't really do that unless we're like prepping for a busy day the next day. Now that everything is blitzed up into a good pourable consistency, we are going to pour that bright highlighter orange soap batter over the scraper there to break the fall into our slab molds. This will ensure that we get a crisp, even, clean line between the orange and the black. We don't want the soap batter to dip down into the dark color because we're not doing a drop swirl. We're not trying to get like swoops or anything like that. We want it to be pretty like evenly divided between orange, clean line, and then the black base color there. This soap batter did set up pretty nicely, so we probably, if we were super careful, could have poured directly into the slab mold, but it's not worth the risk, especially when the design is so simple. There's not really a whole lot of places to hide. So if you're having something a little more elaborate, you could probably have gotten away with it. We just wanted to be extra safe and secure, and that's why we poured over our scraper there. And then Zac will scrape out the container to just get every last bit of that orange soap batter into our slab molds there. And then I'm going to zoom in the camera just a little bit, and we are going to do the top design. So just like I mentioned in the Neon Berry soap making video from earlier this week, we are doing the top design different for each of the 6 colors as well. This one, just like the Neon Berry soap, is going to have a light mica dusting, and this is how you know this soap color, the cheesy poof soap color, is so bright. It's making this really bright orange mica that we got a little sample of from Mad Micas look dirty almost on camera. In person, it doesn't quite look how it does on camera. And then we will break out our bar spoon and do some swoops. We do love a spoon swoop or a spoon push here at RainBro Crafts. It's impactful, it's easy, especially if your soap batter is behaving well. And this soap batter is one that's behaving super well. It's holding its swoop really nicely, but it's not setting up so quickly that you can't do exactly what we are doing here. We'll fast forward the camera just a little bit since it's kind of more the same for both slabs here. Once we finish doing our spoon swoops, we will spritz this with some rubbing alcohol. This helps prevent soda ash, which as we get towards the warmer months, it's not as big of a deal as it is when it's colder outside. And then it also helps with those micas that we sprinkled on the top there kind of stick more to the soap batter so it's not flying all over the place. We'll then put a lid on these, tuck them away for 24 hours, and then it is time to unmold, which we did off camera. We did steam them just because it makes it look a little nicer with just a normal clothes steamer, and then we will break out our slab splitter and split that slab into 3 loaves. And you can kind of get a sneak peek of the nice, clean, crisp line, but the true tell for if our careful, thoughtful pouring worked is when we break out Dorothy, our multi-bar cutter here, and you can see straight on what that line is going to look like. We'll line everything up, and that is, drumroll, exactly what we were looking for. It is nice and clean and crisp. The thing I really like about this design specifically, even though orange isn't my most favorite color, is that the black and the orange are such a nice color combo, and then the spoon swoops on top are just so like erratic and crazy and fun. It's a nice contrast between the like clean, crisp underneath layer and the top design. Super pretty, super fun. It smells amazing as well. My question for you all is related to the scent of this soap. It is, do you like coconut in your food items? So in cookies, in cake, in savory dishes, what have you. I personally am kind of, sometimes I think I like coconut and other times I don't know if I like coconut. It really is like application driven, not necessarily like across the board do I like coconut or not. So let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. This soap, along with all of our other Pride 2026 collection, will be for sale starting June 1st online and in person. You can check out all of those items at rainbrocrafts.com. We will also have some fun Pride candles posted up there. Zac actually just finished making those today, so they'll be ready for that June 1st launch as well. If you do want to get soaps, candles, bath bombs sent to your house each and every month, we do have a subscription service where we can send those things directly to you, or you can come and pick them up in person from us at the market and get an extra little goodie. I have the pricing on the screen here now, and you can join this lovely group of individuals here. We appreciate each and every one of them, and to show our appreciation, they get RainBro goodies each and every month. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below if you like coconut in your food or not. Also subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon so you get notified when we release new videos. Thanks. Bye.